Hey YouTube, Samaj Galbert back, aka Baby S Bone for the gang members, but I'm not a gang member, but that's what you want to call me. Anyway, I haven't posted a video from the last video I posted. See, it got 31,000 views. Well, that YouTube thing, this stuff is a job, and I'm about getting out the message, but I know it's not gonna. I don't know what kind of followers that I have that's subscribing. So I don't know if you guys want to hear a message every day because I can't do that. I follow RZA Islam. I used to listen to Hassan Campbell, but he fell off his message. He be mixing the gangster and the positive, and he getting. I just don't. I don't want to listen to that, and um, I don't really listen to Young Pharaoh like that. But I listen to him and Kwame Brown for sure, and not just because for entertaining. I just want to I listen for what the message that he's saying, and I ain't never seen no other basketball player or celebrity come out and say this. Not in the forefront. It probably is some, but Kwame Brown brought it to the internet. So I listen to what he's saying. What he's saying is true, and what he's saying is trying to teach our young brothers. Just because, like, knowing the difference between a man and a boy, and you attacking somebody and then try to apologize, and then if they say no, then you get mad and want to go to war. Well, you shouldn't attack people, and you shouldn't listen to that dumb phrase where you have to fight a person to get to know them. No, that's some fucking colonizer shit. Only colonizers do that. That's bullshit. Erase that out your brain. But anyway, it's a lot of YouTubers that I'll be watching, and they all have the same message. They all have the same thing. Dr. Umar Johnson, RZA Islam, Hassan Campbell, Young Pharaoh, Polite, not too much of Kwame Brown, but he just pushing trade schools and all that stuff, and which it needs to be in there. That's very important, trade schools, because without the trades, when our ancestors came out of slavery, they had all the trades. Nobody else, they knew how to build everything. So that's why the racist white folks had to create a union to keep them out from getting those jobs so the white people can get them. So if you tell black folks today, as of today, to build a railroad or build a bridge or build a White House, they couldn't build that shit right now. We couldn't. All our trades is gone. They took the trades out the schools, and trades pay the bills on and under the table, whether you're on the clock or off the clock, whether you're working on by yourself or with the company. Trades pay the bills. Mechanics, plumbers, electricians, building and grounds workers, being a barber, knowing how to braid hair. Those are all trades. When we got locked down in the pandemic, since I was little, I figured out, look, I'm tired of going to the barbershop and spending money. I started learning how to cut my own hair. So when I started learning how to cut my own hair, it saved me money. And then when the pandemic came around, I was watching dudes walk around with beards and fucked up haircuts, and I don't know how to super cut like professional, or like you see on Instagram with all them razors. I don't know how to cut like that. I know how to cut decent enough. You're gonna look cool, and you ain't gotta walk around looking like Wolfman. I know how to fade it, line it up. I just ain't doing all them extra designs, and I'm taper. I know how to do all that. But I'm just saying, in a pandemic, it doesn't matter if you're professional. It's people, barbershops was closed. So if you can go buy you a pair of clippers for $100, $120, just put them in a cut. Even if somebody that know how to cut here that don't have the clippers you do, and y'all can make money, you could tell them, well, I'll let you use my clippers. You just give me a percentage. I mean, there's ways to make money in the pandemic. I respect Kwame Brown and salute him, Kwame Brown, for speaking up on the trade schools and putting trades back in the high schools and the junior highs where it used to be at. We really should be having them in the elementary. They should be starting from elementary, learning how to do that stuff. So by the time they do get to high school, they already probably building their own business before they even get out of high school. But I don't think America want that. But I've been looking at these people, and they've been all giving the same message. And I don't want to be on here bashing gangbangers, because that's not what I'm about. I think a lot of these dudes can change. So I don't want to bash them. That last video was talking about Charleston White giving information on where our hoods stand and how we have to protect ourselves. Every hood ain't the same. Like Ice Cube said, that song, every hood's the same. Every hood is not the same. Every hood is not going through the same thing, because even when I was uh my auntie's son's father called me. He was like, "Hey man, and he's Mexican, pure blooded Mexican." And he called me. He said, "That ain't just for blacks. That's for our Mexican people too. That's why I salute you." He like, "Our Mexican people do the same thing, but our struggles ain't pushed to the forefront like everybody else's. I don't know, for some reason, but I mean, he told me like, yeah, what you saying is real." And for him to tell me that, I know I was reaching not just my black folks, just everybody. And I'm not even talking about, but my hood, he said it. He was like, "I remember them Hoover dudes. Samaj, them dudes was bullies." Even he said that shit. He a down-ass Mexican. That's the only Mexican I know that nigga was originally from Parkside. It wasn't no 40. That nigga was a Park boy. Park boys, that nigga's from ATC. Like, nigga, a Mexican gang, nigga. That nigga's from a black hood and a Mexican. That's some general shit. That's like, that nigga should run for fucking, be a politician. See, them is the type of people that be needing to run in politics in our hood. Those people that know both sides, that can interact with both people. You need those type of people. And got respect on both sides. You need those type of people. But yeah, for him to call me and tell me that, I was, man, I appreciated that. It was so many people in the chats. A lot of Hispanics. A lot of Latinos, not Hispanics, because that's not the proper term. Latinos was in there hitting me up. And yeah, I felt good about it, but I don't want to be on here bashing gangs. What I'm about, I'm gonna tell you what I'm about. Because when I came on there, I was over there talking about how if you're gonna gang bang right. If you're not gonna do it, let's go somewhere, let's build and come together, and let's get some trades going. It's plenty of, y'all always know, it's plenty of people that's are people that's smokers and on drugs, and you know he's the hood mechanic. We need to get together with all of them and put them together and clean them up and give them a space for they can start teaching all of us how to do that shit. Teach all of us how to work on cars so we can go all over and be having our own enterprises. But, I mean, we got to come together. And I'm about trades. I'm about learning your history and where you coming from. But at this point in time, I believe that's important, but I don't believe that's going to pay the bills. So we need to get on them trades and building first, and then we can build on where we coming from in our spirituality and how we used to pray. I think that'll be the third step. But the first step is getting back to learning and building and creating, and we don't have to depend on nobody else, and you don't have to get no loans and all this and get this stuff from nobody else. So I'm about land. I'm about teaching kids how to farm, plant, grow their own food. I'm about being black, knowing your heritage, knowing where you're coming from. I'm about not gang banging. I'm about coming together, bringing my people together. I don't want to destroy the gangs, but the ones that want to do it, big ups to you. Let them keep doing it and let them run they program. But the ones that don't, they need to come over here and build. Figure out, how can you contact me on Instagram at BTS by SB. BTS by SB. And we can figure it out, because if you have trades or you a mechanic or you could do something, I have some space where we can go. I have a lot of space that we can go and we can build, a couple of sheds or a little building, whatever, to provide people you could teach. If you're a plumber and you got it in you, you can come teach. We don't have no money right now, so if you can come and or just give a virtual class, that would help. And they sit in there. But it would be good if it's hands-on. But if you can do that, I know my mom is a plumbing teacher. She'll teach people how to plumb. She used to teach me when I was a kid. I used to go into the house. I forgot it now. I know a little bit, but I can be refreshed. My mom's a plumbing teacher. Shit. I know a couple of people that's electricians. I don't know if they're going to come and teach. But if you have the knowledge and you know what you're doing, I have some space. We just got to organize this and come together and talk about it and execute a plan and then execute it and really work on it. So that's what I'm about. I don't want to be on here making videos every day about trading, gentrification, because, you should know about gentrification. They're moving you out the hood, making it expensive for you to live there. Investing in the stock And I don't mean this big, I mean, Bitcoin is cool, but I don't mean like the stuff on your phone that's in public records. I mean like investing. How can we invest in stock in prison products, key fee, all those see-through Walkmans and tape players and TVs that you can buy in prison? Where's the stocks at that we can invest into that? Do you know I seen on on an article where it said it was $1.9 billion spent every year on jail calls. On jail calls. How can we invest in global telling? This is what they're not telling us. How can you invest in that? Because that's an ongoing pot of gold that's going to keep going and going. The prison system, key fee. How can we invest in that? They got us invest into that shit on the phone where they know they can control, they can crash it up and down and take your money. You got to invest to other shit that people don't use in the world no more that other people use. Walkmans, tape players, all that stuff just don't go to waste. They use that stuff. It's people in third world countries that use that stuff. It's companies that ship stuff like that over there. We just don't have the knowledge to invest in that shit. I want to invest in that. How can you invest in that? How can you invest in everything else instead of the shit they show you on your phone that they control? I'm about land. I'm about farming. I'm about not killing each other. I'm about defending yourself. I'm about every kid should grow up learning some kind of form of martial arts because we did. We did. My homie Baby C went to Jeopardy. I went to 48th and Western. Me, my brother Lulu, and DeAndre went to that karate class on Western. So I think every kid should grow up with some kind of training or some kind of self-defense. I believe in farming, like I said. I believe in coding. I believe in trades. And if you do want to college, you can go to college. That's because we need doctors and we need lawyers. So that's good too. And I'm about college. But more so, I'm about trades because these kids nowadays are millennials and they grew up on technology. So everything is instant to them. They need to learn how to work with their hands again. So, that's what I'm about. I don't know what else to come on YouTube and say. It's too many other big YouTubers speaking about economics, speaking about Bitcoin, investing. I don't know if they talking about buying gold, but I have an uncle that's Jamaican. I have a whole gold shop in Lancaster. If you need chains and bracelets, he got all the newest stuff, and he's black. And there's not too many black-owned jewelry sellers that sell gold. You go to the Koreans and to get that stuff, or the Indians or whatever. But it's not too many black faces in that industry. That's another industry we need to get in. How we from Africa? Africa is the most place where it's gold at naturally. And we don't have and we're not in that trade. That's our trade. Cotton was our trade and we gave it to the Chinese. That was a $1 trillion trade. Everything they make with cotton, it's a lot of things they make with cotton. And we just gave it up. And our ancestors had blood, sweat, and tears picking that shit. And you just going to give it to the Chinese people. You know how much money we would have brought in off that every year if we controlled that? And I wanted to speak on the dude, Kwalik or Twalik, Rashid or whatever, from Hidden Colors. I see that he's trying to raise $1 million to buy a property to make a Hidden Colors museum for information. When he could be buying that, trying to turn that building into a trade school on Crenshaw. Because he don't know. Once that train get up and running, the sheriffs is going to take over that, and that property value is going to go up. So it's going to go be more than $1 million for that building. Trust me. All them African stores in Lamert Park, they fighting to keep that. They fighting to get money to keep that. They're going to buy up all that shit, and there is going to be no more black. They don't want you to be on Crenshaw for no reason but businesses. That's why they closed that Rouse, the grocery store right there. So now everybody got to go to Ladera and that Rouse, and they put an Amazon grocery store over there. So they're going to shut that Rouse out of business in a minute in Ladera, and that's the last black area for Rouse that we got. So that building that he should be a trade school. Put where we can go and learn plumbing, mechanics, electrician, be the electricians, be buildings and grounds workers, barbers, everything that's trading, building, cement, everything. We need to have that You need to turn that building, instead of having it a fucking hidden colors museum where you can go in there and get information. We can read. Why don't y'all make books? Make books and publish it and get it out and give it out for free if you care so much about the information that you have to give. Give it to us in a book, because we need to read anyway. People need to get back to reading and writing again, and stop typing and letting the fucking computer do it. Excuse me, and letting the computer do everything for you. We need to get back to that. People don't even know how to write in cursive no more. It's ridiculous. So instead of having a hidden colors museum, you need to make that a hidden colors trade school where you can learn trades and coding, because everybody's on YouTube. That requires coding. Everybody has a website that sells clothes. That requires coding. Instagram, that requires coding. Facebook, that requires coding. So we need coding in trade schools. That's the way of the future now. All this technology coming out. Hong Kong is the #1 fucking city ran on technology and on artificial intelligence. Vegas is going to be the first city in America that's going to be ran on artificial intelligence. And that was about 5 years ago I read that. So be careful and beware of that, because they're going to take over jobs. And that's why it's good to know coding. Somebody has to code and reprogram the robots to do whatever they need to do. They can't just fix themselves. They don't have that advanced technology. Well, they probably ain't showing us, but they don't have that yet out here. So until they come and give us that, you're going to have to learn coding to program the robots to fix them. So, yes. And, I mean, the gang violence, I don't know if you want to hear about me speaking on that, but that just makes me a target. I mean, I want to do it, but how many messages do I have to keep putting out? How many messages? Just let me know in the comments, and let me know if you want me to keep going, because I could. I can keep going on the gang shit and tell them how to steer away from it and let them know the wrongs and the rights of that stuff and where it was made to be right, but it's wrong now. It's been taken to another level where it's represented wrong. So I just don't want to be on YouTube every day doing this, doing that, because, I mean, I don't know. It's just too many people out there speaking like that. I don't know if they speaking like me, but just let me know in the comment section. You can hit the like button. I just wanted to make this video and upload it to give you just, where I'm coming from. And, I don't make these videos every day. And these YouTubers, they be getting into a lot of drama behind this stuff. But I'm here to speak the truth. And I'm going to come with one more video about the gangs and where I stand on the stuff that's going on today. So just let me know in the comment section if you want to hear about, the wrongs and rights of me steering the kids away from the gangs, because I don't want to be on YouTube just saying everything else that everybody else is doing. Peace and love. Samaj Galbraith. Hit the like button. I'm out.